it's all about numbers. As long as the number makes sense, but you got to do your homework and you got to know the market, I mean, how thing is in that type of specific area that you're going to flip the house.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Creating Wealth Podcast, where I, Kyle, from Kyle Curtin Real Estate, interview local top dogs in the real estate investing, wealth building, and personal finance industries. Let's build together. What's up, guys? The guest on this week's episode of the podcast is doing some really cool things in the local real estate investing space. Jose has an awesome story from doing his first flip and all of the takeaways that he got from it that he will carry into his future projects. In the first part of this two-part interview, we get the pleasure of chatting about some great topics like doing your homework, profiting in education, the life-changing power of going to real estate investor meetups, and so much more. There are some awesome tips in here, and I hope you enjoy. Let's jump right into the episode. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 86 of the Creating Wealth Podcast. Today, we have the great pleasure of chatting with Jose Betancourt, an amazing Leominster-based flipper with a super crazy story. What's going on, Jose? I'm super excited to have you on here, man. What is going on?
Hey, Carl. Thanks for having me here, man. Thank you very much. Thank you.
100%, man. I'm super, super pumped.
Okay.
Yeah, so to kind of like jump right into things, man, tell us a little bit about, how you got into real estate, like, some of your backstory, and I absolutely love your story, man. I'm super excited for you to share it.
Sure, man. Sure. All right, man. So, I started in real estate in 2010. But, before that, I'm originally from the Dominican Republic. I was born and raised down there. So I came to United States, around 18, when I was 18 years old. But, everything started back in 2010 when I just bought my first property. What I did on that property was a house hack it. Back then, I don't even know that was the name that, they call that, like house hack. I just bought this multifamily, and actually, the first floor need a lot of fix. So I ended up doing the whole rehab on that first floor, and and I live there, and then I rented up the other floor. So basically, that was my first step as investor. I mean, buying the multifamily. But from there, I started. Years later, I was definitely, fell in love with real estate. I found, when I see, when I see, how much money I can, make on real estate. I was like, I just fell in love with it, And then from there, what I did was, I refinanced that house and bought my second property, and just from there I was like, no, this is awesome. So this is what I like. Everything started like as investor, like that. That's like when I realized that I was investor. I was like, whoa, I'm investor. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah. So it was not, I bought that property, that multifamily. It was nice because I was living there. I was actually getting also cash flow, and I was actually living free on the first floor. And thing was like super cool. I mean, because I was actually living, getting cash flow and living on the first floor. And, later on, I saw that, the equity that property have. And then what I did, I refinanced that property. And that's what I ended up buying my second home, which is my primary residence now. And, and then from there, I'm like, I need to get more into real estate. I mean, back then I was working as an IT manager for a pharmaceutical company. So I'm on an IT field for almost 16 years. And that was my background, IT. So, I worked for Hewlett Package, for HP, I worked for a big pharmaceutical company in charge of the whole IT department for almost 7 years. So, I was also, starting loving real estate. So what happened while I was working there, I was actually looking for houses and looking at how to get into the flipping games and all that stuff. I was like, since the beginning, right when I bought the second property, and what I always want to do, I told my wife, like, I want to do a flipping. I want to get into the flipping game because I was watching all this show online. I mean, on TV, right? And my wife and I, we were just watching all this show, and we were like, I fell in love with that. I was like, I mean, of course, those shows that are totally different stuff, man. Don't believe that. It's just a show. It's just a show. But it was, from there, I just fell in love, man. I mean, I was like, I want to do a flip. I want to do a flip. So, I mean, years later, what I did was I was like, I want to start flipping. So, before that, I was like also on the point that I left the job that I worked for 7 years. I was like, I want to go into full time to real estate investor. Of course, I educated myself, before I jump into the flipping games. I was like in every meetup here in Worcester area. I was online, Biggerpockets.com. I was everywhere looking for, trying to educate myself on this stuff. Also, I'm a web developer, so what I also have two app they're almost done right now is all real estate app. So I was getting my mind, very busy on real estate. And then when I decided to jump into the flipping, I left the job. It was a process. It was not that, like, let's say I came in like, book, I quit. No,
it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks. So what I did was, I planned myself very, for 1 year. I was like, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to get prepared myself for this. And, then I left the job, I quit, and then I start, looking for houses and flip it. And this is when I got my first flip. That was, yeah, but about a couple of months now. But, I went to a meetup, and then I met Sabrina. And this is, in the meetup, we met, and she was like, yeah, Jose, hey, you want interested in the house that I have in Lawrence? I was like, sure. Yeah, I went up. So, from there, she showed me the house. I was like, I run the numbers. I went with a contractor, and I see, I see the house. I have a lot of potential because, the numbers look good. I was like, definitely, if I'm going to submit an offer. So, it was very quick. I mean, that house, we got it on the contract. It was like even the same day. The morning, we went in the morning to see the house with a contractor. Right in the night, the house it was on the contract right at that night. They accepted that offer, and I was like, okay, let's go in. So we closed that deal, and probably it was like 9 or 11 days. I used hard money loan on that property, and I look numbers, and I was like, think this is gonna do pretty good. I mean, this flip, of course, the whole process, the getting the rehab done and all stuff. I mean, you definitely got to go into a lot of, issues with a plumber like myself. I ran issues with a plumber when he left the country for 2 weeks without telling me anything. So you're definitely gonna keep. You need to keep that in mind. That when you do a flip, you're gonna have those type of issues like that. But as long as you are good management, the group and all stuff. What I did, I have plan B. I have like plan B, plan B, plan C, and all this plan I have. I was just in case that this guy left or not coming back from, when I to get a job done. And thanks God that 2 weeks later he called me. He's like, no, it was that I left. He explained that situation. I was okay. So let's finish. So the whole this was my first flip, and the whole flip was finished in 2 months. 2 months it was whole finished. That it was actually going to get finished in 6 weeks. That was the contract timeline. And he's like, yeah, I was like, we can definitely get this done in 6 weeks. But since we got to all these issues, but we ended up fixing the whole flip in 2 months. Wow. But it was actually it was unbelievable. I mean, going to your first flip. I mean, probably guys that listen to me right now, man, it's amazing. It just feel like awesome. I mean, especially if you love what you're doing. I mean, when you love this stuff and you see the final product, you're like, wow. I mean, all the stuff that you definitely go through, that is, you got to, think that before that you definitely going to go through a lot of issues in that. It's not like a piece of cake, it's not okay. You buy, going to flip, everything's going to come out beautiful. No. You're gonna run to a lot of issues, especially with a contractor, all the stuff, permit, and all that stuff. But once you put yourself into it, I mean, and you love what you're doing, everything will come out good, everything, and that's exactly what happened. Everything, run good, everything, all the numbers was good, and I was right with the end. I was actually very happy with the whole flip. And we just and we saw the house actually before getting on the market. So, actually, that house was actually never on the market. So, I got a customer, a client that, definitely wanted the house, and the numbers was definitely good on my, I was like, we're going to do it. And, we closed that house, and it was like 2 months ago now that we closed that deal. Wow. And, and the profit, yeah, it was definitely, I can give you the numbers. Yeah. So, we bought it for $300K, that property. We ended up spending about $52,000 on rehab costs, and all that stuff. So, definitely our profit was, around $63,000 on that deal.
Nice.
$63,000. Yeah. And some change.
Yeah.
But that was my first flip, and I think for the first flip, I mean, I did it pretty good. I mean,
yeah, I think so.
I heard a lot of, I know the guys out there, they got a great deal, but for this one, they're gonna tell you this. I mean, when I started that flip, I told the contractor, I'm gonna run the numbers, and I know if it's something go wrong or whatever, I don't mind if I don't make a lot of profit on this deal. It's just my intention was to learn the whole process myself. Yeah. I mean, it's not better. I mean, it's not, I mean, you can get a mentor. They tell you everything, how to flip a house, but, you going to yourself and the whole process with the flip, I think that's the best experience that you're going to. So I'll tell the contractor, I want to get that feeling. I want to see by myself. I know I run numbers. I know I was going to make good profit. Yeah. But I was like, even if I don't make a good profit, I'm going to feel good, that I went through the whole process of getting the contract, dealing with all the permit, the closing and all the stuff. It's just the better, the best way, to learn, the flipping game, the flipping game. So, it was amazing. So, and the like what I said to you earlier, it's the feeling that when you get the products down, I mean, like when everything's done, the closing, and boom, let's move to another deal, is awesome. That feeling, that you got that flip done, and you exactly what the numbers was in the beginning, that I know everything come out good. So that's when I realized too that I'm good running numbers, for the, for all these rehab and all these costs that is involved on the flipping. And I was like, I'm good at it. I'm good at it because, all these numbers that I did right in the beginning was actually, that's how I plan everything, So, definitely, again, definitely you need to put yourself. I mean, I was there, like, because this was my first one. So I was there pretty much, I was there like all the time, like 100%, making sure that everything, contractors are there on time, that the plumbers are there doing the work, and all those guys. So I was managing the whole flip time, the whole time. So that was also part of that successful flip in 2 months.
That's beautiful, man. There's so much that I want to like talk about in there.
Yeah.
Literally, like one thing that really really sticks out is when you were saying like, oh, like I don't mind if I don't make a huge return on this first one.
Yeah.
Like the way I look at it, man, is like whether you're doing your first flip or your first buy and hold or short term rental, like whatever the case is. I feel like it's almost like you're just trying to, well, I mean, I feel like it kind of means more to exactly, like go through the process on that first one. And like, that's kind of like your tuition. And like, yeah, exactly. Like the way I look at it, man, is like, it's almost like building a baseline. Like even if, God forbid, like things like hit the fan and like everything went absolutely crazy, you still got through the process, and like, all right, now we have a baseline of like, all this stuff happened. Like what lessons can we learn from this to be able to carry on when we do that next property, because we're going to do another one, and like but yeah, I mean that's absolutely amazing, man, to get like that incredible education like that, like have things go like pretty much to plan, have like that one hiccup with the plumber and figure out how to like get through that and still skate by on the other side, doing very well.
I'm telling you, Carlos. I mean, even if I read a lot of stuff online, I saw a lot of video before I jump into the flip again. A lot of books and all the stuff. But definitely, when you going yourself to that process, and you definitely see like this is not what I was. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of information out there that you can all the cost that is involved on the flipping. But you going through the process yourself. I mean, and that is just a different thing, man. I mean, especially all the contact that I got with all those all those guys out there. The plumber, bunch of plumber, because I before I decide to go with one plumber, I call like five estimate, like five plumber. The electrician guy. I call like five electricians to give me all the estimate and all that stuff. But all the stuff and that process that you learn is amazing. Especially with the permit, dealing with the permit. Having work with the city. I mean, I ended up getting a lot of contact with the city department of that city. So I got I got a couple of connections now with that city department. They just love the what I did on that flip. I mean. And the relationship that you get with a lot of people, contractor is amazing. The countertop guy, all this other roofer guy. I mean, now that's what I was looking for. Now I have the team. Now I'm just waiting for my next one now, so I can jump in
the team together.
And get this whole team together. So now they just like, they just tell me, Jose, when are we gonna get the next one? I was like, I'm looking for, man. That's the other thing now. You don't want to jump into whatever. I'm saying, I gotta look numbers. So if the number makes sense, and then I'm gonna jump into it. But how the market is these days, definitely you just got to pay attention to those numbers, and very very carefully. You don't want to be on that position where that flipper lose $20,000 on the flip. So you don't want to be on that. I mean, I heard, a lot of story with, personally, a friend of mine, lose a bunch of money on the first flip. Even people that in 8 months instead with a flip with a project like that, ended up just breaking even the amount. So you don't want to be one of those guys. I mean, of course, it's experience. You learn for it. You move on. There you go. You learn for that. But I think for the first flip, that's what I realized, that I'm good with putting the team together, and getting all these numbers together, and that's what it make this flip very successful. My first one, so I feel good to say that my first flip was very successful.
100%, man. Yeah, Jose, how was it? Kind of like, right after, like, you walk through the house for the first time, you have the, like, you walk through with the contractor and everything, kind of getting, like, the numbers and stuff. And like once you put it under contract, like was it kind of like a frantic, I guess like, you know, going to like the phone book to try and find like, oh crap, like I need like a carpenter, I need a plumber, I need an electrician, a roofer. Like, were you just like ringing the phone like all day long, like trying to get quotes and like, like how was that?
Well, before that, this is what I'll tell people. I mean, go out there and network with people. This contract that I got for this property, I met him on the meetup, but in Worcester. Yeah. So we met like for about 6 months. I've been going through his project. He's also a flipper, so he was current working on his flip. And every time he was like, "Hey, you want to come in and so I can show you a couple of things and this flip?" Because he's a contractor. So I was, during that time, I was just, going with him on all these projects that he had, and I was learning a lot of stuff. So and that. Also, I was connecting with all these contractors, the plumber, the electrician. Yeah. So once I jump into my flip, that's the contract that I call, and he saw the project. He's like, no, this this is the amount it's going to cost to do this rehab, and of course, as investor, you got to negotiate it. So what I did, I negotiated the price with him. And, we agreed in the numbers, and he's like, okay, we take that projects. But all these plumbers and all these guys, I also have him for him. I mean, he the one who actually like passed me, information for, those guys, the electrician, the plumber and that. Yeah. And because what we did, again, I always like to negotiate price. I'm that type of guy. Even everything's negotiable, right? I mean, when he sent me the estimate, I was like, no, we cannot work on those numbers. We got to work on this and how we're gonna do it. So what I ended up getting my own electrician guy, and I ended up getting my own plumber guy, and that because I know I got couple of guys that work, in a better with a better budget. Yeah. So that's how I ended up working my budget on the rehab cost. I mean, because this, that's the other thing that you can definitely hire a subcontractor, and those guys, and they can, they can do it, with a license, of course. But the thing is, you gotta not get stuck on just one. One estimate. I do a couple of estimates. If I got, did I need an electrician guy? So I'm gonna make sure they're gonna call 3 or 4 guys to get with the better estimate. And from there, definitely I would see the experience also that he have on those type of projects. So it's all that. But again, a lot of people say like, no, you're lucky. You see that it's not. I mean, it's just that I did my homework. I mean, I educated myself, and to get all those, all those right piece, put all those right piece together on this project. I got like 5 guys that electrician guy that I contact. And the one that actually got. It did a great job. I mean, and he actually bid the lowest numbers on that bid on that job. And yeah, the other guy was charging like $5,000 more than this guy. The other one $3,000. I was like, no. Then this guy, we got the permit, we got everything, and boom, he got the job done. I mean, professional, beautiful, fast. And now I have that guy on my contact list. I mean, now I have him. Yeah, now I'm gonna have it. Now he's like, no, Jose, just call me whatever you got on other projects and all that stuff. But that's how I get connected with all those contractors, with all those people like that. It's about it's all about building a relationship in this business too. It's all about networking, connecting, talking with people. Even me, that I'm a shy guy. Tell you the truth, I'm a little shy. Even for this podcast, I'm a little shy, but it's
okay, man. I think we all are a little bit.
But it just you gotta get it, man. You gotta go out there and meet people, go to meet up. Uh, and that's how I got all my knowledge on what and got my first plate in a meetup. So that is awesome.
It's huge, man. I was having a conversation with a guy a couple night or it was last week at this point at a meetup, and we were talking about something that it just made me think of it now.
Yeah.
So like I feel like the direction that a lot of us investors like are trying to go, like whether it's like keep doing flips to be able to do, I don't know, like 5 or 10 a month, or like people going out and putting like huge syndications together, like whatever those like super bigger picture like visions look like. I feel like we like have to be able to stick out like a sore thumb, like in a good way. Right. And like what I mean when I say that is like literally like you were just saying, man, like going to all the meetups and like meeting all the people and be like, oh, like Jose knows everybody, like he's got this whole team together, and like, because like if you're able to make those relationships and just kind of like keep finding people and everything, like crazy things happen, man.
I love it. I mean, when there's a meetup, I'm there. I mean, actually, in the last couple of weeks, having been a couple of meetups yet. I mean, I know you guys have another one coming soon, and Garen, yeah, probably go on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm always looking for a meetup because I mean,
definitely,
it's a great place to network with a lot of investors. You meet a lot of people. Again, don't be shy. Go to if you see a guy out, go check your hands and talk to him, and you never know. You never know how you're gonna get a partnership and meet up, and do what you want to do, like investing, and real estate. But I think that was the thing. Like again, I met the contractor on a meetup. I met Sabrina, which is got my first flip in a meetup. So I got so I cannot say anything bad about meetup, man. It's a great thing. It's a great, awesome thing, and I love it. I love it.
I totally agree, man. And like even like with social media and stuff too, you know what I mean? Like, like going to meetups and everything is like absolutely huge. And like I feel like one thing too is like, kind of going down the same vein of like, putting yourself out there and being like, all right, like I'm Jose, like this is what I want to do. And like, because you're right, you just absolutely never know. And like especially in this kind of day and age that we're in, like going onto Facebook or like Instagram or something and like saying the same thing, or like just giving value or and like the thing I love about Facebook too, man, is like you can see like like who people's friends are and stuff like that, so like you like get to know some of these investors from the meetup and like connect with them on Facebook and everything, and then all of a sudden you see the whole spider web of like everybody like out there, and like it's a beautiful thing, man. Like I like I was talking about a couple minutes ago, like I feel like if you have like very very big visions, like I feel like we have to stick out. I'd be like, oh, like, that guy's doing like a ton of flips in this market. Like I said, like, oh, he'd be like, Jose knows everybody. You know what I mean? Like, if you, have a project, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, but just being able to give and like, just like put everything you have on the table and just kind of like bet 100% on yourself, and be like, all right, like, this is me. Like, this is what I want to do and let's do it, I'm
telling you, after that flip, my whole life changed. I mean, about the whole investor type of, I mean, is unbelievable. I mean, the feeling that you get is like I did it. I mean, I'm telling you, I was dreaming. I mean, I told my wife, like, I wish I can have a flip. I want to do a flip. I was like, my wife just like, don't worry, you're going to get a flip. Don't worry. Yeah. But I was just one of those guys. I was that, like, I wanted like that bad. It was something, and then when you done it, you're like, whoa. I mean, of course, you now you see now you done it, and now you see that you definitely can do that, and then thing is, you're definitely gonna look for more and more and more. I mean, and definitely again, like right now, I'm on the process to get my first Airbnb down in Florida. So hopefully I will get that property, and not going to be also involved in that market, and Airbnb. So it's of course the flipping is all. I mean, I love it. So definitely it's going to be one of those things that I'm always going to look for opportunity out there, and if the number makes sense, yeah, I would jump into it. But it's just now that I'm holding, I'm not gonna do a lot of the projects that take let's say 8 to 12 months. I mean, I don't go into those type of projects at the moment, since I'm more focused right now on the renter, on the rental side, on the Airbnb down in Florida.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah, market is nuts down there. It's crazy. I mean, what's going on down there? But I've been getting to that market for a long time now, and I actually have a lot of connection that also down there. I just gonna go this weekend. I'm gonna go in a meetup, two meetup that we got going on down there this weekend. So I'm always again, like we talked earlier. I mean, meetup. I mean, that's what I'm doing down there. I already met a lot of realtor, a lot of investor, a lot of flipper. So and I'm that's why I really start jumping into that market, because I feel like I already have good knowledge about about that market go on the rental side down there.
Definitely, man.
That's my next jump now. Onto the Airbnb type of thing down there.
I absolutely love that, man. Like the way I kind of look at something like that too is like once you get that first project done,
yeah,
like I was saying earlier, like it sets the baseline. So now like even like regardless of if things didn't go so well or went like ridiculously well and blew your socks off, kind of like this one, like I feel like if you're able to just kind of like look back at it and be like, all right, like this is how everything went, and like it went super well, but like how can we streamline it even more? And basically just make it like a process and kind of just, streamline as much as you can. So exactly, like the same thing that you did up here, like when you were first jumping into the game and like starting to go to meetups and going on Biggerpockets and, just everything that you did collaboratively to do that first flip and get it done. Like you've already done all that once. So why can't you do that in Florida and like, like all over the place?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The thing is, you just gotta know the market, and know the numbers. I mean, as long as you got that, after that you just gotta get in touch. You connect with contractors and things who's doing construction in that city, which especially I'm talking about Florida. But that's why you see a lot of investors doing flip in a different state, a different thing, because that it just is all about numbers. As long as the number makes sense, but you gotta do your homework, and you gotta know the market. I mean, how thing is in that type of specific area that you're gonna flip the house.
Yeah.
And of course, labor costs probably is different in each state. But is basically once you know how to management, the team, the contractor, those guys, you make it happen. Either way, you make it. Again, everything is negotiable, man. If I get a contractor, I will look for another guy who do the job on my budget. I'm not that type of guy that a low baller guy, right? That's what. But it's just I'm looking for I'm looking for my numbers to work. And that's the only thing that I look for on anything that I invest. Numbers. If the number makes sense, if I see that profit for me, there you go. I continue, doing that.
Yeah,
but it's just again, I'm just the beginning, right, on the flipper, but I know a lot of investor out there that done bunch of flip and do fly 10 flip, 15 flip a year. I'll tell you this, I get there very soon. I'll be there.
Hell yeah, man.
It's just I started on my first one, and I see now, and I've been started, I've been educating myself more in how to get uh, you know, multiple, a flip on the same, on the same time. Not only one flip, do 3 flip and 4 flip. Like, a couple of weeks ago, we were in New York. There's a area in New York. There's a city in New York that property, very low property. You can definitely get a property for $65,000 down there, $85,000. So, the other thing is that I'm looking at right now. I'm looking to move to a different state on the flipping game, because definitely, if it's not working in this area, you gotta keep looking. You gotta look for another opportunity. So we went there, and we were gonna get like 3 or 4 houses and all at once, and we already got a contract guy. That was gonna say all the contract guys. They were gonna say in the hotel in that area. They were gonna go there and get those house, all fixed, and period of maybe weeks, and but everything was I already look into that market. I already do my homework on that market, specific on that city. I call a realtor. I met with that realtor down there. And not educating myself about that city, specifically New York. The New York, even the closing process in New York is longer. I mean, to close a house in New York is between 60 to 71 days to close a house.
I thought Massachusetts was long, man.
Yeah,
Damn.
no, yeah. And I actually learned that for the realtor. Like, Jose, you gotta just think about it, right? Even if you get this flip done in a month, you still gotta wait. The FHA rule, whatever. You gotta wait 3 months.
Yeah.
Well, plus, he was telling me, listen, the closing process in New York is longer. Even if you pay cash for the house, is a longer process. It told me, it's like right now it take almost 71 days to close a property. Even if you come out with a cash right now, it's like this title system down there is all messed up, and and he was telling me all that, and he's been on the game for 20 years in that area. So of course I'm gonna listen to him, right? That's the other thing. When you have a great realtor on your side, I mean, you learn. I mean, you educate yourself more, specifically when you're dealing with out of state, investor type of thing. Yeah, you gotta know like all the stuff before you jump into get into that deal. And that's why we right now holding right now, because right now since he told me that the closing process down there, it's like 71 days. I was like, I got to think about that now, because even if I ended up flipping a house or 3 houses down there and that price, it's definitely going to take us almost 6 months to get that house, so I can see the money.
Yeah.
So I can sell to close the house. The 3 months or whatever, and then 70 all those days to close. You're looking at to 5 to 6 months to see the real thing, of course. And on the rental part, yeah, that worked, because you can just buy the thing is the rental market down there is in that area that we were going to get those houses. It was a little scary. I'll say you that. And I'm not into that type of number right now. So I was just more focused on get a couple of houses on that price, get those guys down there to fix it up, quick thing, fix, sell it, and close. But since he told me that the process would take almost 71 days to close, even if I use hard money loan, and it was like, it got me thinking, man. It got me thinking,
Mm-hmm.
And I know, another investor would take that, but the thing is, I'm not definitely into that right now.
Yeah. Honestly, man, like I think the value in like that conversation like that you had with the agent down there, and like that one piece of information alone is like worth its weight in gold, you know, because like, man, like what if that's something like, oh, like that's something that like, you know, nobody probably thinks about, like, oh, you know, like you figure Massachusetts, it's like, you know, 45 days, all right, like it's probably roughly the same, you know, something like that. No, you know, and like that could make a huge difference, like if you have a kick-ass project going on, and now all of a sudden you have another like, you know, months and months of holding costs, and like especially if you're using hard money, man, like getting slapped like a couple more times than you thought.
There you
like,
go.
all of a sudden things are, you know, not looking so good, and you're like, oh shit, you know, like.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that I was telling you. When you invest in another state, you know, do your homework, man. Do your homework on you know, the law in that state. What is you know, all the stuff, the closing process and all the stuff, and especially how the market is, and that. I mean, you got to look into all that information. I mean, this again, there's probably some investors out there, experienced one, they have, you know, a long time in the game. They probably, you know, I don't look, you know, I do a different way, but you know, definitely me as a beginning investor, you know, I got to do my homework, and I got to be very cautious on jumping into any deal, and you know. And that's what I'm doing right now. You know, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to get involved in you know, in a situation that, you know, especially, you know, again, when you have you know, that, you know, a good realtor. I mean, it's very important when you have a good realtor on your side as investor. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you know, the information that you're gonna get, you know, the realtor, you know, have, and is definitely going to be very helpful for, you know, for you and that journey as investor.
All right, guys, that concludes our Creating Wealth podcast episode for today. I want to thank every single person that has listened this far. It really means a lot to know that people can learn from me and with me as we build wealth together. Hopefully you can take home at least one thing from this podcast that will improve your life just a little bit. If you could, please check me out on social. That's at Kyle Curtin Real Estate on Instagram, Facebook, and I'm on Biggerpockets. Until next time, let's build together.